Alright guys, let's look at the next question from CAT 24, the first lot. I would want you all to pause the video and try solving it, and then you can resume for the solution. So the question says, a shop wants to sell a certain quantity in kg of grains. It sells half the quantity and an additional 3 kg of these grains to the first customer. Then it sells half of the remaining quantity and an additional 3 kg of these grains to the second customer. Finally, when the shop sells half of the remaining quantity and an additional 3 kg to these grains to the third customer, there are no grains left. The initial quantity in kg of grains is. So you can see a table here. The columns tell you the initial number of grains, the grains sold and the grains which are left, and the rows are the customers, first customer, second customer and third customer. Let us suppose that initially there were X number of or X kgs of grains. When the first customer comes in, we sell half the grains. So half the grains are left, X by 2 kgs are sold and X by 2 kgs are left. From the amount of grains which are left, X by 2, 3 kgs are removed and are sold to the first customer again. So after the first customer has left, the number of grains which are left is X by 2 minus 3. This X by 2 minus 3 becomes the initial number of grains for the second customer. And now the exact same thing happens. When the second customer comes in, the shop sells half of X by 2 minus 3 number of grains. So half of X by 2 minus 3 will be X by 4 minus 3 by 2. So when the second customer comes, he first gets X by 4 minus 3 by 2 kgs of grains. So same quantity, X by 4 minus 3 by 2 kgs would be left. And from the grains left, 3 kgs are removed and sold to the customer again. Now X by 4 minus 3 by 2 minus 3. Let's simplify this further. This 3 here, we multiply it above and below by 2. So this becomes X by 4 minus 3 by 2 minus 6 by 2. Minus 3 by 2 and minus 6 by 2 would add to give you minus 9 by 2. So this is the number of grains left after the second customer left. X by 4 minus 9 by 2. Now, when the third customer comes, for him the initial number of grains would be X by 4 minus 9 by 2. He's basically given half of this first. So half of X by 4 minus 9 by 2 would become X by 8 minus 9 by 4. So the last customer first gets X by 8 minus 9 by 4 kgs of grains, and these many kgs, as many kgs are left, X by 8 minus 9 by 4. Now from the grains left, 3 kgs are removed and 3 kgs are sold to the third customer again. So the third customer gets a total of X by 8 minus 9 by 4 plus 3 kgs of grains. So now if you observe the quantity of grains left, it is X by 8 minus of 9 by 4 minus 3. Multiplying this 3 above and below by 4, the quantity of grains left would be X by 8 minus 9 by 4 minus 12 by 4. 9 and 12 is 21. So this becomes X by 8 minus 21 by 4. So after the third customer is left, we have X by 8 minus 21 by 4 kgs of grains. And finally, the question says that there are no grains left. That means this quantity X by 8 minus 21 by 4 should be equal to 0. So we equate this with 0. We get X by 8 minus 21 by 4 is equal to 0. Taking 21 by 4 on that side or adding 21 by 4 on either side, we get X by 8 is 21 by 4. Multiplying by 8 on both sides, X is 21 upon 4 into 8. 4 ones are and 4 twos are. X is 21 twos are 42. The answer to my question is the fourth option, 42. Okay guys, so let's look at a slightly better, a faster way to answer this given question here. We have seen that if there were X kgs of grains initially, the first customer first gets half of it remains, and from whatever remains when you remove 3 kgs. Now let's observe something very interesting guys. After the first customer leaves, X by 2 minus 3 kgs of grains were left. So now if you want to reach back to the initial quantity, you will first add 3 to this. It would become X by 2. And then you double X by 2, it becomes X. So at any point of time, if you are given the quantity of grains left, you can back calculate the initial quantity of grain left by simply adding 3 and multiplying by 2. And that's the shortcut to our question. We observed that when the third customer left, there were no grains left. So 0 kgs. As discussed, we add 3 to this, we get 3 kgs, and then multiplied by 2, we get a 6. So when the third customer came, there were 6 kgs of grains. You can also cross check this, guys. 6 kgs of grains, half of that will be 3, and 3 extra will be 0. So that's how the third customer is served. Now, moving further, when the third customer came, there were 6 kgs of grains. So after the second customer left, there were 6 kgs left. Now again repeating the process, 6 plus 3 would give me 9, and the double of 9 would be 18. So before the second customer came in, there were 18 kgs of grains. You can verify the fact again by taking half of 18, which is 9, and 3 extra would leave 6. And lastly, when the first customer left, there would be 18 kgs of grains. We add 3 kgs to get 21. Double of that would be our answer, 42. Very short and sweet method of answering the question, and that's how we do it. The answer is option 4, 42.